Hello and welcome to our WFAA Original Special. I'm Dia Wall. We like to give you this reboot of some of our favorite stories during the holidays because, like you, we could use an occasional emotional pick-me-up too. Whether they're stories of inspiration, perseverance, hope, or just a good old well-deserved Halloween scare. So enjoy this next full hour of WFAA Originals, starting with Jobin Puneker and a kid whose passion for all things retro just happened to be a perfect fit.
We are shaped by what surrounds us. For Willis Gibson, it's Stillwater, Oklahoma.
When I was a bit younger, I used to just hop from one thing to another.
It's the home where he grew up.
Hi.
The room he made history in.
It's easy to start off, but it's really difficult to master.
Despite life's twists and turns.
When he plays, it's hard not to just watch.
You are watching a master and mover of shapes.
Fully solved.
And he's only 14, while everything else in his room.
I have an old box TV, original NES, original N64.
All the gaming equipment.
Is much older.
Me.
Born into a family of gamers.
Blue Scooty. That's my online name.
You would think he's born in the wrong era.
I think he's more in the right era to bring this stuff back.
So far back, it's a wonder if it'll work.
Whoa. Power on, power off. Whoa.
The puzzle video game.
Never mind, it works.
Made 40 years ago.
A glove.
That many of us played, a kid from Stillwater in his home, from his room, perfected.
1 to 2 on school days.
Playing hours.
Yeah.
Every day. For 2 years.
I got the 999999.
To the point Tetris couldn't count any higher.
I basically press into the back of it. So yeah, you can see how fast it is. And then if I do that with every finger.
Willis took a technique called rolling.
Yeah, rolling. You can just shoot pieces to the left and right.
And rolled himself into a world record.
The Wonder Kid himself, Blue Scooty!
The word got out about the kid who topped Tetris.
And there it is!
Scooty taking the win there.
But it was a victory short-lived when his world record was beaten by somebody else the next day.
With the world records changing hands multiple times in a single week.
Willis Gibson, you'll also learn, is shaped by competition.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and beat him back. And
Not an easy feat.
December was a hard month.
like I'll be walking the hallways and you'll just yell Tetris, and that's all I'll hear.
The college town that has 0 arcades had something happen on a Thursday in late December. For Willis Gibson, everything just fell into place. And he almost fell apart. Reached level 157, cleared 1,500 lines.
1,511. I couldn't feel my fingers and mainly hyperventilating.
Beat the game even the makers thought was unbeatable.
It's the first time that the game didn't beat the player.
The game had crashed, and so had Willis Gibson's world.
Right after he crashed the game, the next day was the visitation.
His dad, Adam Gibson,
I wish he could have seen it.
died of a heart attack just before his son's life-shaping moment.
He was still able to just be him for just a little bit while he's playing Tetris, so.
I just wanted to dedicate it to him. I want to do that, so I did.
What better tribute than to beat the game from his dad's generation?
I love you, Dad, on the back.
This keepsake goes to every Tetris tournament.
I see Tetris gummies. I don't know. I might eat all of them. No!
And Willis is looking for the next old game to master.
When your kid wants to do something,
Oh, pen.
I mean, you just find a way to do it.
Wait, so right here? Yeah. All right.
Life throws us pieces that don't always fit perfectly.
Where do you want me to sign it?
Anywhere.
Thank you.
We're all forced to navigate what comes next. It all plays right into who we are. In Stillwater, I'm Jobin Puneker.
Coming up next, another perfect fit, a music legend immortalized by the U.S. Mint, celebrating the life, legacy, and musical journey of Celia Cruz. Welcome back. I'm Dia Wall. In addition to bringing you WFAA originals, we also like to celebrate the cultures and traditions that make DFW the melting pot that it is. That's what our La Vida series is all about, even when trying to explain why something as simple as a quarter can be a really big deal.
She really was the same at home.
These photos portray a close-knit family.
Here she is. We lived, as many Latinos do, in a multi-generational household. This was the house that I grew up in Queens, New York. It's not deceiving from the photo. This is the actual size, which was tiny.
In the midst of countless moments captured, there was one
These pictures I love.
big star.
From when she was young. What a babe.
The incomparable Celia Cruz.
Celia Tia, as we called her, was really funny. Her laugh sounded like tinkling bells.
And her music sounds and feels like joy. Now, cemented in a quarter, part of a program at the U.S. Mint.
That catchphrase, Azúcar, was, she interacted with the audience that way.
Phoebe Hemphill designed and sculpted the coin for the Queen of Salsa.
I knew I had to convey Celia's spirit and joy and energetic stage presence while performing, and so I thought the design had to have a lot of energy.
She was just authentically herself. And she brought Cuba with her wherever she went, and Afro-Cuba. She was very involved in her styling, so the wigs and the nails, and all of that was important to her.
It feels like your design has so much texture and richness. How are you able to make that come to life?
I was urged to use the famous rumba dress that she donated to the Smithsonian. I guess that's my favorite part.
This may be another in a long list of honors for the icon. It just sparkles and shines a bit more.
But to have a quarter, that just embodies who she was in her life and what she meant to Latinos and non-Latinos all over the world.
Stamping Celia Cruz and her legacy in American history.
This is the pinnacle, really, to have a little piece of my sculpture in somebody's pocket. It's kind of cool.
She loved this country. She loved what she did. She did everything with passion, and it's beautiful that she's being able to be recognized.
Coming up next, another rags to riches story in the making, from behind the counter at McDonald's to capturing magic on one of the world's biggest stages. We're taking you courtside with a Mavs artist extraordinaire when our WFAA original special continues. Welcome back to our WFAA original special. I'm Dia Wall, and everyone loves a rags to riches story. Or let's call it a poverty to courtside pro basketball story, where Jonah Javad found a young man focused on a very bright future.
Inside a coffee shop in Dallas, the grind doesn't stop.
I had a clip already in my mind.
Merrick's Alexander Gooden
This is a little bit of the process.
posts up on the couch
Drag it into this.
with his filters
In here,
and flavors
change my sequence settings to match.
and begins to brew.
In real time, it happens in like 3 seconds, 2-3 seconds. In slow-mo, it's like, this is art.
His artwork is on display in a gallery of thumbnails,
Oh, that's nice.
turning his footage into clips so sick they're constantly viral.
Shout out to my guy, Merrick's.
We've been locked in for a long time. I mean, since I've been in Dallas.
And he's one of the best at what he does, one of the best young creators.
You don't have to be an athlete to do something that will change your life. I'm able to travel the world, like just grabbing a camera.
Merrick's grew up in Ville Platte, Louisiana.
6,000 people there.
Sorry, this is me
sliding off.
Took your wings.
A city rich in culture, but with a poverty level at 42%.
A lack of jobs and just steady rate of crime.
It is one of the poorest towns in America.
We represent our city with all of our heart.
What do your parents think of your success?
They're so proud. They comment on every single post. Like anything I post on Facebook, my mom is like, go Al, go Merrick.
He first picked up a camera in college at Louisiana Tech.
No background in photography at all.
So where did this come from?
YouTube University, literally.
Merrick's eventually moved to Dallas.
Hello, how you doing? It's Merrick's.
Where he stayed with a friend, crashing on the couch.
I'm listening, bro. What's good, bro?
For a year and a half as he built his portfolio.
I like that jacket. It wasn't too bad. It was a comfy sofa.
More exposure led to more shoots.
Yes, sir. I'm from Louisiana.
And he found his home
2019
on the hardwood.
Word of mouth and just showing people that you're good at what you do.
Network grew the network.
Let's go, man. Let's get a stop.
More than 100,000 followers now. Millions and millions of views. Many of them tuning in for his basketball music videos.
I get in that kitchen, I could go to work.
Where he takes a single highlight, puts it in slow motion, and tops it off with a carefully crafted song choice.
I know the power of a dollar, told 50 rounds.
Just putting like good music behind it. Like anything that I hear, I'm like, that deserves some Keisha Cole. That deserves like some Summer Walker.
Stuff like that's very important to me, and he never skips on that detail.
Everything you do is just amazing. Appreciate you for everything.
His work is top tier, you know, he makes everybody look good, love you as a person.
And all your pictures tell stories and videos tell stories. It's just crazy seeing you blow up.
He's had photos shared by Drake.
Got to snap him up, and that's been on my bucket list for forever.
And also his childhood idol, LeBron James.
I'm literally scrolling on my page. He's like, happy birthday, Bronny. And it's my photo. And I'm just like, this is insane.
From working at McDonald's in high school to working behind the scenes at the McDonald's All-American game.
Just seeing it differently makes it more interesting.
Full circle moments manifest often for Merrick's. Hey! But his focus has never blurred.
Change the opacity.
Nor has his perspective.
And adjust the saturation.
On life.
All right, let's see what we got. Even if I'm sleeping on a sofa, I'm sleeping in Hotel Grand Marquis in Miami, it doesn't matter, like just knowing that if you can see it, and you can dream it, and you can believe it,
you can capture it.
Irving for the win!
Final product, oh yeah.
In Dallas. I'm Jonah Javad.
We have two more stories for you in this first half hour of our WFAA original special. Yes, Sean Giggy has a habit of scaring his coworkers at Halloween. This year's Fright Fest, definitely worth another look. And what happens when you offer an honest helping hand? Kevin Reese shows us that a little bit of dignity often arrives too. That and more when our WFAA original special continues. Welcome back to our WFAA original special. In a moment, a look back at this year's epic Halloween trick perpetrated by our very own Sean Giggy. But first, Kevin Reese takes us to Fort Worth, where a selfless good deed proves that hope is always on the menu.
We haven't put the sign up, you know, with the name of the patio.
To have a restaurant succeed,
5 o'clock somewhere. That's what it says on the sign.
an owner like Mary Vasquez sweats every detail.
I like to get out of that hot kitchen.
No job too hot or too small.
I love doing the silverware because I can sit down for a
But each day on her way to work, a bigger problem she could not solve. The Fort Worth corner of Summit and I-30, the same weathered and begging faces every day.
bit. I always rolled the window down. I always gave him money. I never passed him and not gave him anything. I always gave him something.
That someone
2 to 3 hours every day.
was a guy named Mike.
I could just feel people's disapproval. It takes a toll on anybody. It's very stressful. It's very Humiliating.
Humiliated and homeless.
You turn your back on anything, it's gone.
He lived in nearby Trinity Park.
Homeless people get killed or found dead out on the streets pretty much every day.
But each day, if he wanted to live, wanted to eat, he'd become one of those guys with one of those cardboard signs.
I did not like holding that cardboard sign at that highway ramp. It's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. In the back of my mind, nobody's gonna help me. Nobody, no, you're a piece of crap, you know. And while I was standing there thinking that, looking at the ground, a lady honked her horn and...
He had his sign. He always had a smile, though.
Mary Vasquez
He always had a smile, and I thought...
made him an offer.
I said, here's some money, and would you like to work? Do you need a job? Would you work? He came the very next day. He rode a bicycle.
Mike Stewart is now
some tables, I clean back there.
The busiest busboy and dishwasher.
Whatever, you know, if we get real busy, everybody just kind of...
At Mary Vasquez's Enchiladas Ole.
Make a round trip all together in probably less than 15 minutes.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
Sometimes working
Aww.
side by side.
Were you last night working with the band?
Uh-huh.
And that was a year and a half ago. And he's never missed. He's never missed. He loves working, and we love having him. Yeah, he's working.
But Mike was still homeless. Life in the park still challenging.
Oh, he folded me up like a pretzel, like origami. Oh man, he beat the crap out of me.
Until the next offer, Fort Worth Housing Solutions and a roof over his head.
Ooh, it's been a long time, actually, a place of my own.
An apartment of his own for the first time in 15 years.
And I've got it made. This is a blessing.
Mary, however, thought he needed one blessing more. The gift of an electric scooter came at Christmas. The hardest working man in Fort Worth is now always at work on time.
Oh man, it touches my heart, man. I don't know, I'm very thankful. Shoot, it means I'm starting to feel like a person again.
People are people. Whether they're homeless or they're ex-offenders, they're people. It's a soul. And that's what we want, is to be able to help people to have a normal life.
A person, a human, got a little bit of dignity.
There are more than 2,000 people living on the streets of Fort Worth. Mike believes his days on his old corner are officially over.
It's hard talking about it kind of now.
Back at his new apartment, a painting over his bed reminds him how those days came to an end.
Everybody needs some help sometimes, a hand up.
A hand up from someone who took a chance with a serving of hope on her menu too.
You're wonderful.
In Fort Worth, I'm Kevin Reese.
It's gonna make me blush.
Oh, you're wonderful, sweetheart.
There are, however, a handful of people not happy with this next story. That's because they work here, and they were at the wrong end of a traditional WFAA Halloween surprise. The perpetrator, our own Sean Giggy.
So the anchors think they're coming to the studio today to record a Thanksgiving promo. But I can assure you, by the time they're done, there won't be much to be thankful for.
So we'll just start with this first line.
All right, here we go. In 3,
2,
1. This Thanksgiving, let's come together.
Come together.
Come together.
Come together to celebrate gratitude and generosity.
So now you're gonna acknowledge this feast, and then you're gonna reveal our fake turkey here.
Like this.
Let's do it. We're rolling.
Together, we can make a difference and enjoy a delicious. Yes! Yes! Yes!
Together, we can make a difference and enjoy.
Happy Halloween!
You suck! Oh my God! You all suck!
Together, we can make a difference and enjoy
no turkey here!
A delicious feast. Sean Giggy!
What? Wasn't me.
Together, we can make a difference and enjoy.
Hungry?
Oh my God!
Are you crying?
We can make a difference and enjoy.
You're up with daybreak.
Oh.
my God. What? What? Oh my God. Who is under here?
It's a baby.
Together, we can make a difference and enjoy a delicious
Happy
What was that? Is that Giggy? Is that
You
who
know
that is?
it.
Oh my Lord. Y'all ain't right, man. Y'all are not right.
You guys are not right.
You are terrifying. I hate you so much.
Through that. Ow! Greg's trying to get his heart rate down.
Yes, that's right. Be gone now. Yes, I am.
That was really good, guys. That was really good.
So good. Well done.
I was not expecting that.
We have another half hour of WFAA originals for you, including Wounded Heroes offered a chance to put their lives back on course, the effort to find and honor 10 million missing names, and the voice of a Dallas musician that cancer cannot quiet. Our WFAA original special continues after this break. Welcome back to our WFAA original special. I'm Dia Wall. Heroes come in all shapes and sizes. They also come with their own struggles. And sometimes those heroes need their own hero too. Arnold Payne shows us the folks helping keep those sometimes wayward lives on course.
There's a certain tranquility here, a refuge from life's darkest storms. Standing tall, having weathered their own storms throughout the years. For the lucky few, if only for a moment, it's a temporary escape from the noises that continue to echo from our past.
The Easy Food Store on Elmwood in New York became the scene of a drug raid.
In life, it's hard to have a testimony without first having been tested. Fort Worth police officer Lisa Ramsey.
I immediately knew I was paralyzed before I even hit the ground.
January 2nd, 2003, Lisa and her narcotics team were in the process of making a drug arrest when
I grabbed the door to pull it open and I heard this pop. I immediately felt pain right here.
Ironically, it was the store owner's son, not the suspect, who fired the weapon. He told police he mistook the officer for an intruder. This is the remains of the .380 caliber bullet that was removed from Lisa's body. It entered her left lung, clipped her arterial artery, and blew out 2 inches of her spine. A grim reminder of the delicate balance of life and death.
My heart stopped 8 separate times. They came out and pronounced me deceased to the waiting room. And then 3 or 4 minutes later came out and said, no, we got her back again.
But Lisa's fight to live wouldn't die.
I'm a warrior. I just wanted to keep living.
Despite Lisa's paralysis, her spirit has never wavered, and nor has her support.
Cody, Sam.
Including that of an unexpected lifeline. Meet Army combat veteran Cody Phipps.
Good. How are you?
After crossing paths with Lisa, a life-changing friendship ensued.
I just don't know how to describe it. It's a beautiful friendship. It really is.
Both ironically brought together by one caring community. Heroes on the Water, a life-changing organization designed to rescue those who have spent a lifetime rescuing others.
Giving me the opportunity to get out and fish and, just relax and enjoy life.
If you'll support this.
It's a cost-free program for U.S. active duty military, veterans, law enforcement officers, first responders, and their families. But when life robs us of our very essence,
yeah, that ought to work.
It's going to be a beautiful day on the water. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
finding contentment can be challenging.
Where's the champagne?
Yeah.
But when found, invigorating.
I'd like to see us catch something.
Let's go to try.
Trying quite the understatement.
Oh my gosh, this is a monster fish. Good Lord. Oh my God.
I thought it was gonna break my little rod. It was bending so bad.
I've never seen a bass that big.
I think I got a monster.
The outdoors and kayak fishing have been an outlet for me to heal from combat stress.
She is the champion.
Everybody likes to be around people that make you feel normal, make you feel like you're part of the group, and that's a big part of what we do here.
As well as providing a safe place to decompress.
I'm not gonna go to a shrink. What do they know about getting shot? When was the last time they had a gun or a knife pulled on them?
Yeah, I've got us on this thing.
I want to talk to somebody who's actually been through something, you know? And Cody's that person for me.
Exactly why this hero, who's coping with his own post-war traumatic brain injury and stress disorder, drove nearly 900 miles simply to put his hero
We're having some good conversation
on the water.
It's been an awesome opportunity to have a mentor and to learn, somebody to learn from.
Interpreting Mother Nature is totally subjective. However, Heroes on the Water intent is clear. These outings are a time for reconnecting, for healing.
When you hear a fish come to the surface for air or something, it's just very peaceful and healing for me. There we go.
Beautiful out here.
Being on the water.
And out here with great people. It's a beautiful day.
Paddle, fish, heal. In Santo, Texas, I'm Arnold Payne.
There are other heroes at work right now, working to resurrect as many as 10 million names. They're not trying to rewrite history. They're trying to bring history to life. That story and more when this WFAA Original Special continues. Welcome back to our WFAA Original Special. The dark history of slavery in this country reverberates even today, including the fact that so many people, so many souls, so many names have been lost to history. Brittany Moncrief shows us the effort to bring as many as 10 million of them back.
And it did somehow.
There's pride in knowing who you are.
Yes, girl. Just for a thrill. Girl, them were some good days. We had a good time.
Willie Mae Coleman has 90 years worth of stories.
We were poor. Our parents was very, very poor.
But found wealth in the little things.
But the music, people start playing music, they forget all of that. Child, we'd all be out in the neighborhood around there dancing out in the yard.
She's known as the mayor of South Dallas. Her work in the community and with various leaders backs it up too, creating memories like the ones shared with family.
His mother always dressed him up.
Stories that can't be told in just one visit to her South Dallas home.
That's my mom. That's the farmer, Eula Mae Shaw. That was her maiden name.
And her grandmother,
Sophronia Shaw. Sophronia's maiden name was Townsend.
A name belonging to Mr. Townsend.
He owned my grandmother now.
Who owned the Louisiana farm where her family had no option but to work and live there.
She was 13. The man came and said, "Y'all free? Y'all free?" My grandmother said, "Free?" He said, the masters can't tell you what to do now, because y'all be free.
It's amazing the stories she continues to pass down.
You ready to go? He said, "I ain't going for you. I don't have to work for you, master. I can work for myself." And they started shooting at each other. Finally, they quit. They shot my grandmother, and the bullet went through her arm right there.
And it's daunting, the stories she simply doesn't know.
I don't know her parents' name, and what my grandmother's real name was, I don't know.
It's the disheartening reality of most descendants from Africa. But that's where American Ancestors' 10 Million Names Project comes in.
We are seeking to recover and restore the names of the estimated 10 million men, women, and children who were enslaved.
Cynthia Evans is research director.
It's important to uncover this information because we know that family history typically gives people a great sense of worth.
When researching Black families, most historians like Marvin Delaney turn to U.S. Census documents.
It just sort of gives you a capsule or a snapshot of how they were living and what was happening to them.
But the challenge is what most historians tracing Black families call the 1870 brick wall.
Prior to 1870, most African Americans, 90% of African Americans were enslaved. And so in, I would say, 1860, they're going to be listed on a slave schedule. They didn't even give their first names in 1840, 1850.
So for the past month, Cynthia has been coming here to the State Archives in Austin, researching Willie Mae's family history and hoping to break that 1870 wall.
And there's Willie Mae.
Eager to report back.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi. I am Willie Mae Coleman.
I am Cynthia. It's so
Hi,
nice to meet
Cynthia.
you.
What she finds to Willie Mae and her cousin Gina.
Well, I have a 5-generation family chart for you.
It goes father's family and mother's family. So
Uncovering pieces to this family puzzle that up until now was based on oral history.
there is an interesting thing about Sophronia's family. She is a Townsend, but I found a census document with her name, and it looks like they may have gone back and forth between Townsley and Townsend. Slavery really obscured a lot of that information. The fact that people were not allowed to learn how to read and write.
Slavery was abolished in 1865, but freedom for many was not the freedom they'd hoped.
You have talked about the story of when Sophronia finds out that she is free. And so when I did research, what I found was that Sophronia was born around 1880s. It has come down through your family and it tells you about what they experienced in that location. More than likely, she's talking about sharecropping.
Sharecropping is a system in which a person rents a portion of land and pays the owner with a share of the crop. For many Blacks, sharecropping was almost like slavery.
Anytime you get a story from family to help you fill in the gaps and give you a glimpse of what Sophronia's life was like, when you talk about the joy of them finding that they were free.
She said it was an amazing day for her. Oh, they danced a while and celebrated out in the dirt and kicked up their heels. They were free. I know she did. Oh, it's amazing.
While imagining the joy her grandmother felt, she also feels a joy of her own.
This is your daddy.
This is
Yes,
your daddy.
this is your dad.
This
Yes.
is your daddy.
This is your dad.
Look at that.
For the first time, Willie Mae sees her father's World War II registration card. Robert Walker, a man who defended this country's freedom but had to move his family from Louisiana to Dallas and himself to California, all in search of a freedom of his own.
Oh, what a joy. What a joy.
To see their eyes light up, to see them connect with history, what they know about their family, it's a beautiful feeling.
I'm rejoicing. I'm so happy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so happy because just to know that that this is where we come from.
Exactly.
And I would love to know more and more and more.
So now, when she twists down memory lane,
Y'all think I'm crazy.
it's not just a pride in knowing who she is,
Go a long way. Hey.
but feeling closer to those who came before her.
Say that right.
In South Dallas,
Yeah, baby.
I'm Brittany Moncrief.
We have 2 more stories for you in this WFAA original special, including an explanation why there's a very good reason you'll find dogs in a North Texas prison, and a North Texas musician whose life struck one very bad chord. But cancer doesn't mean the music or the dream has to end. Those stories when our WFAA original special continues. Juvenile detention, understandably, can be a difficult place. But in Gainesville, Texas, not all of the juvie inmates are on their journey alone. They have at least a temporary best friend. Teresa Woodard explains.
Come on, sweet girl. Come on, honey. Come on.
Honey.
Ready?
Honey. Hey, yeah. Hey. How you doing?
A reunion can feel like coming to life again,
Good girl. Good girl.
especially a reunion that's been a long time coming,
It's been since early December.
because nothing in life's been coming easy.
Homeless don't have a chance. They really truly don't.
Byron Kennard, who was a Marine and in the Army Reserves, got evicted. No place to live meant
I just miss my baby.
no way to keep Honey. But then an animal rescue group found Honey a temporary foster home.
There you go. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, like, he's a tug-of-war artist.
Behind a fence
Oh yeah, let me get that 10, sir.
and inside a dorm filled with teenage boys who know what it's like to live a tough life.
A lot of our youth come from very hard places. Some of our kids are victims of neglect and abuse.
Gainesville State School is one of the highest security juvenile detention facilities in Texas.
You're doing good, you know. You had a little hiccup, but you better now. So just stay in there, man.
Every teen serving time here committed a felony,
Come on, Rebel.
but now they can also be
Good boy. He's my partner in crime, my best friend, a Rebel.
fosters.
When I first got him, he was kind of a little shooken up because of where he came from, and I felt that same way.
We agreed not to show their faces or share their names. This is a 17-year-old from Fort Worth who has a little girl at home.
I had my daughter when I was 14, turning 15, so I was pretty young.
Very young.
I took my dad's skills into being an owner skill, because he's kind of like my son too, so I can't have it.
He shares Rebel with an 18-year-old from Odessa who is approaching the end of a 3-year sentence when we met.
Rebel taught me a lot, especially responsibility.
16 of the 160 boys at Gainesville State School live in what they call the Bark Dorm. They earned their way in.
So you knew behavior had to be good.
Oh, yes,
Grades
definitely.
had to be good in
Most
order to
definitely.
qualify to be here.
Yes,
and it was
ma'am.
motivation.
Yes, ma'am.
These dogs all have owners who faced hardship at home
Sit. Go get it.
and needed someone to care for their animals short term. The youth feed them, take them out, clean up after them, play with them. The dogs even sleep in their dorm rooms.
Like they say, like a dog is a man's best, like you feel me, best friend, and I agree to that.
These are kids who've been let down,
Oh,
and dogs
good boy.
lift them up.
It taught me really just love, because I didn't really experience love that much.
That dorm right there, the fierce amount of incidents on the campus, very, very few, if any, rule violation reports. They have grown. The camaraderie in that dorm it's very strong. They get along in there, and they do that for the benefit of these dogs.
On our visit, we saw Rebel, Maverick, Maggie, Amigo, and Honey.
Who's your favorite?
Honey.
I love the haircut too. I really do.
One of the young men told me she's his favorite.
I heard that several times so far. But yeah, hey. Makes me more in love with it, I guess you could say. Yeah.
To see Byron and Honey just connect again is such a beautiful moment, and it's exactly what we want to have happen. That's what we're doing here with the Bark Dorm, is to make sure those reunions can happen.
Byron worked his way out of hard times and found a safe place to live. He hopes the boys in Gainesville someday do the same, because life is better
I am grateful to Dallas Pets Alive.
now that he and Honey are home.
They give people hope. They give people hope.
In Gainesville,
Good dog.
I'm Teresa Woodard.
And our final story in this WFAA original special, we hope, is music to your ears. The story of inspiration and perseverance definitely is to us. Here's WFAA's Jobin Puneker with a song that needs to be sung.
Joshua Ray Walker is back, where it all started.
Dallas has always had my back.
At the Kessler Theater on the stage, performing what and where it feels right.
Country music was the thing that felt the most like sincere and the most me.
Joshua Walker grew up in East Dallas, found his calling 12 years ago. The world then found him.
So he plays Canyon, and I was like, this is the guy. Like, we got to sign him, like, now.
Producer John Pedigo,
Every Wednesday we meet here, and if I was going to recommend one, this would be the one.
who loved the writing as much as the singing.
I think he writes a collage of character studies.
Hey, what's happening? Welcome to the Kessler.
Music driven by the people he sees.
4-hour drive for a 1-hour show.
250 nights out of the year,
Something like a little mysterious about it, you know what I mean? And it just draws me in.
he was touring outside Dallas.
I would argue that he was on the precipice of stardom for sure.
Crying 'cause I love you.
On the way to the airport to fly to LA to do Kimmel is when I actually got the call.
The call in December of 2023 that changed everything.
I always picked the window side.
Pulled from one stage, thrust into another.
I woke up and I just felt so terrible.
Stage 3 colon cancer.
It certainly
Any momentum he had built.
derailed that.
I canceled 7-8 months of shows.
Thanks for listening.
He told his family, his fans soon after, that music would have to take a backseat.
That was my only access to therapy for years and years, so there's a pretty good chance I probably wouldn't be here. This is my 5th one.
Joshua is now doing rounds of chemo at Baylor Hospital in Dallas.
A couple days after getting the infusion, I'm pretty wiped out.
He cannot tour while doing chemo, but he can do the occasional pop-up show.
Enjoy the show.
I will.
How you doing?
Good.
I like that shirt.
Thank you.
All right, see ya.
In his hometown.
It's my buddy Tom. I met him in kindergarten. About 7.5 hours.
These Dallas pop-ups have sold out in hours.
Yep. And I think this one was like 2.5.
Just to pay my law dues.
What happens on this stage is an infusion of a different kind.
I'm a big, big man.
The song Canyon was for his father, who died of cancer.
Can't be filled. I'm a bottomless canyon without a drop to spill.
In our hearts, we know that he's gonna be all right.
He says the prognosis is good.
I have a lot more music that I want to make and a lot more art that I want to create.
Joshua Ray Walker hopes to tour by the end of the year.
I knew going into the first one this is going to be like one of those special moments.
For now, it's these pop-up shows where it all started. In Dallas, I'm Jobin Conklin.
Thank you for joining us this hour for a look back at some of our favorite WFAA originals from the past year. And as always, if you have a story you'd like to share with us, share with the world. Drop us a line. The world needs your dose of hope and inspiration too. I'm Dia Wall. Have a great original day.